Liam was never the loud or explosive type. He was quiet strength, the kind of man who built love not with grand gestures, but with quiet consistency. He left little notes in my lunchbox just because. He went on late-night grocery runs when I forgot something and wrapped me in warm, grounding hugs whenever the world outside turned cold. We weren't perfect, but I thought we were safe. That's what made it so easy to take him for granted. The unraveling began with silence, not shouting. Subtle at first. Longer days at work. Short answers at dinner. Conversations that never strayed far from bills, appointments, or errands. Somewhere along the way, I stopped feeling seen. I missed being wanted, being chosen in the everyday moments. But I couldn't find the words to tell Liam that without sounding ungrateful. So instead of reaching for him, I pulled away. Quietly, slowly, I let resentment take root. That's when Ryan entered the picture. A co-worker, funny, quick-witted, charismatic in all the ways that made attention feel like oxygen after holding my breath for so long. At first, it was harmless. Innocent jokes, a little too much laughter on late-night project calls. Then came the long messages, the subtle flirtations, the way he looked at me like I mattered. I told myself it was nothing, that emotional affairs weren't real. But the moment I started deleting messages, hiding smiles, and crafting new truths, I knew I was betraying Liam in 1,000 quiet ways. Until one night, it crossed a line. One night of weakness that unraveled years of trust in the space between dusk and dawn. The morning after, I couldn't even meet Liam's eyes. He asked if I was okay. I said I was just tired. I wanted to fall to my knees and confess, to rip the weight of it from my chest. But fear froze me. Instead, I tried to go about our life like nothing had changed, except everything had. It took me a week to summon the courage. I told him everything. Every lie, every message, and that one night I couldn't take back. I cried so hard I couldn't breathe. But Liam, he didn't raise his voice. He didn't curse or throw things. He just stared at me, like I was someone he no longer recognized. Then he stood and walked out of the room. That night, he slept on the couch. The next, in the guest room. By the end of the week, he was gone. No slamming doors, no fiery arguments. Just an empty space in the closet, and a folded note on the kitchen counter. I need space. My heart shattered. I tried everything. I begged. I suggested therapy, counseling, anything. I wrote letters full of apologies. I drove to his brother's house. Sat in the car for hours like some foolish ghost of a wife who used to be loved. He never came out, never answered my calls, never texted back. And that's when I began to understand. Liam wasn't angry. He was hurt, and hurt people don't always fight. Sometimes they just quietly gather what's left of their dignity and walk away. Sometimes leaving is the last act of self-respect they can claim. Friends and family told me to give it time. But days turned to weeks, weeks into months, and his silence remained unwavering. I still wore my wedding ring, still caught myself setting a second plate at dinner, still left the porch light on, hoping one night I'd hear his key in the door. But hope can be a cruel thing when it refuses to let go. I didn't cheat because I stopped loving Liam. I cheated because somewhere along the way, I stopped loving myself. And someone noticed before I even realized I was lost. But that's not an excuse. It never will be. It was a choice. And that choice cost me the best man I've ever known. Eventually, the divorce papers came. No angry prelude. No confrontation. Just a manila envelope with a signature line. And a quiet date that carved finality into our story. I sat with that pen for 2 hours, staring at the space where I was meant to sign. When the ink finally met the page, the truth landed with it. Liam was gone, not because he stopped loving me, but because I broke the version of him that did. Some wounds forgiveness never touches. Some apologies float unanswered in the spaces where love once lived. I wanted a second chance more than anything, but what I wanted no longer mattered. He had the right to walk away, and I had to learn to live with the silence my own choices created. I still see him sometimes, at the grocery store or downtown near the bookstore we used to visit. His smile is different now, smaller, folded in on itself, like he's guarding what's left. I wonder if he still thinks of me, of us, if he misses Saturday pancakes or the way we used to laugh in bed with the lights off. But I never go to him. I don't get it anymore. That's the cost of betrayal. A permanent distance between what was and what will never be again. So I carry the memories now, both beautiful and brutal. I still believe in love. I still believe Liam was the best thing that ever happened to me. But I also know that betrayal leaves behind scars deeper than most eyes can see. And when you break someone's trust, sometimes there's no way back.